I
Think
feel like
so.
we got to get some more like
Yeah, we're
activity,
good.
like
We're
we can get some
live.
music going.
All right, all right.
Kick it off, Harry. Let's give the
So,
people what they want.
welcome back everyone to our TA special, weekly special, where you can smash me with your shitcoins. And
Yes.
I'll have a look. But first, I need to look at the beast of the crypto space, Mr. Bitcoin. And Mr. Bitcoin actually had a huge pump today. Well, not a huge pump, but a nice big candle. Let's see how many dollars this candle was. It was a $1,500 candle.
Ooh.
And but what it's done is it's done something a little bit special. What it's done is it's closed above this range that we've been in. And if you notice on the 1 hour, it will be probably a lot more clear. You can see we've been in this horrible little range here. And we can see that, we were accumulating within this range. We had a few dips, but we generally held the higher low pattern, especially clear on the 4 hour. And now we broke out. But what I like about this is I like that the 4 hour is actually closed above this range. So now we can see we're actually getting a wick fill. And just breaking this previous wick here is very good news. That's telling me just as soon as we broke that wick, I knew we would have some sort of profit taking up here. And then, it came down, created a nice wick, and then you obviously will have a pullback on the first 4 hour candle. That's very normal. And that pullback is just to create that bottom wick. On the lower time frames, it will look like a pullback. You can see on the 1 hour, this was the 4 hour pullback. And now we have continuation. So for me, if we, break this wick here, or especially break this wick here, I'm looking for higher targets. What are my targets? Well, obviously 50,000. I don't think we stop there. I think we can extend it to probably about 52,000 next stop, and 55 mid. There's probably a range, to be honest, because once it gets up there, I'm looking at basically something around this area, like the high 50,000s, around 56, 57, between to 55. And I look for it to do something between this. It is new price territory, but as soon as we reach that range, I do look for some sort of profit taking, or maybe a short-term pullback. We'll see how it gets, but I'm definitely looking for that target to be hit. Looking at the 1 hour, if we do close above this area on the 1 hour, just any closure above here like so, then I do think we will continue up. If we do close below this, then maybe we can look maybe for a retest back here, or maybe a retest on the 4 hour coming back to test this previous resistance as support, which is still totally fine. If we do close back within the range, it is a little bit troublesome. I do think we'll probably come down and test around 47,000, but still, it's not that at that sentence. I'm only bearish below 44,000. Let's look at Ethereum lagging behind a little bit. You can see here on Ethereum, we've created this we found a resistance, and we found a support down here on the 4 hour. Looking at the 1 hour, we do have very, very clean structure on an uptrend here. You can see that structure. And Ethereum, it's looking good. I do think it wants to come and tap these all-time highs, but I've been watching it for the last few hours, and it's really mimicking exactly what Bitcoin is doing. Like if Bitcoin moves down, $50, Ethereum moves down $1. So it is very, 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 copy paste of Bitcoin now. So if Bitcoin does actually tap that 50,000, I do think we're going to see the final breakout. And I'm just waiting for this Ethereum to explode. You look at daily, daily is very strong. When is the weekly closure? Have we got it? It's today, right? So weekly closure will be today. I would like to see the weekly closure above the top side Bollinger Band, which we can bring up now. And that, especially on Bitcoin, I would like to see. So that will come in at, 1,714. So we are, quite a way up there. So it's not, something to be worried about. Bitcoin weekly closure will need to close above 45,000, which is kind of that pivot between 45 and 44,000. But that's what I'm looking for. Bitcoin and Ethereum, I am looking for some upside, and we'll see how it goes. Looking at volume, go back to a 1 hour, looks pretty good. Dying down a bit. I don't, I would like to see some follow through here, and if we don't see follow through, I do think that this will probably get sold back into and come retest this area here. But let's see if we do get follow through on this next candle. If not, then I do think we'll probably come down and test this area again, which could be an opportunity. But we'll see how it plays out, and yeah, let's smash me with some altcoins.
I mean,
So,
Harry, this is all really exciting news. I feel like there is a chance that maybe I'm not just like seeing clearly. But in a non-financial advice way, are you sort of suggesting, I don't know, maybe I can start like 100x long on Bitcoin right now?
Your long should have been here, this is where your
Yeah.
long should have been. You never want a long. I mean, if you want to scalp, you could scalp this, but it's kind of like, degenerate gambling and trading. You would try catch the momentum and move your stop quickly to break even. And if you lose, you just lose on the fees, like $20 or something. But
Yeah, no, because the fees are pretty brutal. Yeah, yeah, for those people out watching that didn't catch your video, could you sort of roll this back in time? You don't have to roll it back on the chart, but like what signal would you have gotten to take this trade?
well, you see, it's a little bit of a 50-50 chance, right? So, uh, the thing about this trade is that we had this section here, and we saw that there was previous support here. So, high chance when price were to probably come back down to around these wicks, especially this area here, you could layer in a long. So, let's say we wanted to lay in a long, uh, I would have been longing at this area here. Like you can see that the wick comes below, but you'd be in drawdown for a little bit, which means, you'd be in the red, but then
Mm,
eventually it would come back up. So you can see, and then as soon as the price came back up here, you'd move your stop loss up here. So now you're actually in profit. And you can see at the first attempt, it failed, right? So then now, when price comes back down, it will high chance it will bounce at these wicks again. So what happens is that you put your long in again at these wicks, price bounces, comes back down, and then continues on this uptrend, and now you've actually caught the actual move, right? But if it
mm,
were to come down, by the time price, comes up a little bit, at least 1 or 2%, I would be moving stops to break even, right? Or at least a bit in profit. That way, that if it does come back down, you've lost nothing. And then you do catch this move. Now you just hodl your long, probably at 50,000, take half your position off. I would take half my position off after this big momentum move, and then leave the rest, right? That's how you would have caught that.
That's really
mm.
good, Harry. That's very good, mate. Let's give the people what they want. The first request that we had was alpha, but I know you've got AVAX up there, so we can go straight into AVAX if you want.
Yeah, let's have a look at AVAC. So healthy chart, to be honest, accumulating looks quite similar to Bitcoin, doesn't it? Right? We had this pump and then it's
Mm.
accumulating. Uh, I am looking at this section here. This is, for me, this is where I would like to see some reaction or some sort of, support. I would like to see this level being held. If I don't see this level being held, then, it probably comes back down to here. This is quite a harsh dump, but to be honest, it's just looking like it wants to just cool off a little bit. I mean, it is getting a nice pump as we speak now. So if you would want to know when would be a good time to, have an upside target, I would probably say load your Bollinger Bands. And if you can get the price to do something like this, where it comes up to the middle Bollinger Band, comes back down, retests it, and then has a green candle afterwards, then I could say it will probably travel up and this will start curling up like this. You can probably, you'll see a pullback at that level there. Uh, yeah, that's my opinion on this. Let's look at what else was there.
Alpha is one.
You think it will? Yeah, it is. So yeah, we're 12% down. I can see that, and
To
I
be
mean,
honest, it was affected by a bit of fundamental analysis
yeah, most of these alts
news.
will be. But if you look at this, it's still a healthy uptrend. It's respecting these areas quite nicely. If you just were to draw a box like so, like this, and you can see that as long as it's above this, I'd see like this is the last area. If
Mm.
this area breaks, I do think we probably trade down. But you know, people could see this as some sort of 1.5 million head and shoulders. If you're looking at as a beginner trader, but most people who are looking at this chart probably will see that because they're mostly beginners. But look, you have a huge head and shoulders here, and then on top of having that huge head, you have a small head and shoulders here, and then on top of that, you have a head and shoulders here. It's
It's got a triple head and shoulders
yeah, man, it's all over the
alpha.
chart. Look at this here, head and
Well, and
shoulders.
this that pattern was forming before this problematic information came out. So
Exactly.
yeah,
Well, all head and shoulders means, like, just so you know, TA, quick TA, is head and shoulders mean price came up to a place, it found a resistance and failed to pass that resistance. So now it's coming back. But the problem with head and shoulders, you can see it's like a sharp sell-off. So that means that this resistance here has a lot of significance. And
Yeah.
when that happens 3 times, like so, high chance that, all right, fine, price is struggling in this area. High chance if it does break this area that's been support, price will continue down.
Yeah, it's sort of like a middle finger to your profits.
Yeah.
Um, I'm wondering, yeah, I'm wondering your opinion, Harry, just, yeah, about sort of news and fundamental analysis when it comes to these smaller coins, because I guess it really depends on the trader. Some people really are watching all of those reports in the Telegram, checking all the news and everything, and some people are just trading the charts. And I guess it is sort of a debate.
Well, yeah, I would
How?
say about 75% is going to be on alts, like especially ones with low liquidity. I would say not, maybe about 65% is going to be fundamentals. Why? Because, they can be heavily impacted by, some fundamental news. If they were to partner with someone huge, of course the
Mm,
price would go up, right? Because you're driving that partnership price, right? Whoever has been supporting the other project will probably want to support this project, and other reasons, right? Some people want to ride the pump. Apart from that, technicals will only play in a way to understand short-term moves and some moves, where you want to accumulate, where you want to probably take some profits, and stuff like that. That's what technicals are useful in alts.
right, your marks, but as far as the actual motion of the coin itself,
Yeah, I
no,
mean,
it's
like you
good
can
to,
look at the chart, right? You can say, all right, this is a healthy chart.
yeah,
Big move,
obviously.
and now it's just, it's just in a range. To be honest, if you look at this in another way, it's just a range. You can see here that that's just a range. Okay, we are looking like we're breaking it, but we're just holding the bottom side of the range. It's kind of on the edge, right? So yeah,
Yeah, if it
what else
breaks
do we
there.
have?
Uh, let's go. Let's go. Oh, hang on. Let's go Reef for this one.
Reef USDT or BTC?
Uh, let's go USDT because there's not a lot of data on this one. So
That week,
Yeah,
uh,
huh?
somebody
yeah,
made
it's
some
like
money there at the beginning.
I can explain the first week. So, firstly, this is on Binance Launchpad, and people were able
Yes,
to
sir.
mine it. And yeah, essentially, it was crazy hype for it. People were market buying like dummies. That's probably why
Yeah,
you had that big spike. But then it sort of really bottomed out because the price was subdued just because people were earning it. And when you earn something, it's hard. It's just gonna it doesn't sound right, but when you're earning it for your farming rewards, they don't really respect it, right? They're just dumping it. They want a quick
Well,
quick
yeah, it was
money.
free. You didn't do anything. You just had to put your
Mm,
money in there.
yeah, exactly.
That's
And
the
now
psychology.
that it's finished off, it's the price is probably reflecting its true value now. It has its mainnet launch coming up as well.
yeah. So with the main launch news, if that all goes well, then this is an healthy chart. You can see clear uptrend, right? Apart from that, we did find, this was a pretty big pump. Where's my magic? Here it is. You could see this pump here was pretty big, right? So people just took profits off here, sold it back down, but you can see it recovered nicely, right? Catching this support down here. And that means that technicals are being respected. So if technicals are being respected, you can see now that this support is being respected. So now, it's pretty simple to be able to figure out what's going on here, right? So what's going on is that you can see that essentially now we're in a range. So if we do break below this support level here, easily price can come back and retest here. Now, if we do actually close below here on a time frame like the 4 hour, we'll probably start making what? A lower low. So that'll be a trend change. And then if trend changes, you can look for some sort of, negative outcome, right? Some,
Interesting. Yeah, starting to make more sense to me. Because a lot of these coins, they will get their initial pump from some sort of news, but then everybody rushes into the coin, and then I feel like they do start staring at the chart. And then people are
exactly.
looking for the technicals, looking for those areas of resistance after said news happens.
Indeed, yeah. Looking for when to take profits or when to sell. What else have we got?
Yeah, we got a request here for let's go e gold. We'll go, we
Gold.
can. We
Elrond.
might be able to circle back to Bitcoin at the end there, Wayne.
Guys, if you're getting value from the streams, please smash that like button, because that's the only payment I ask, is you smash that like button. So yeah, let's get it. Let's get it.
Like and subscribe, guys. Come on. Look at all this effort we're putting out.
You have 2 tasks in the stream. Task number 1 is if you're not subscribed, you hit the subscribe button. And if you're already subscribed, your second task is to hit the like button. If that's too difficult, quit crypto.
I mean,
And that's
do
it.
you
It's
think
pretty
it's
simple.
easy what Gooding is doing right now? Do you think it's fun? I mean, actually, I think
Never
both
mind.
of those things are.
So
All
eGold is one of the ones that I still cry myself to sleep at night about, because I thought it was a good idea to be able to sell it. I think it was like $30.
Ooh.
So yeah, I didn't. Dee didn't really look at me for a good week after that. So
Yeah, that's
we're looking at
is
it.
difficult.
We're looking at possibly another entry. We're sort
Yeah.
of. I think it's getting close, but I probably want a bit more data. But Harry, you're the TA god here, so
Well, on the 1 hour, it's looking good. You know, where would I say? I mean, I would not take any buys. Like, if we could come down to this area here, like so, where this wick came, because you can see how much demand there were, huge limit orders at
What's
this
the-
wick, right?
what's the price on that one? I can't see the numbers on the right.
The price at this wick is 147. So now he's gonna go jot that down and put 200K.
Not financial
buy.
advice, but putting it
He's all
along.
right. He's on his phone now. 200K limit buy.
Quickly sell and then rebuy it.
Yeah. Dump the market. So yeah, I mean, definitely in this wick, there is a lot of buys here at this area here, and you can see when it got pretty close with these wicks here. Where's my? This keeps changing. You can see here with these wicks here that when the price came here, it did start to go up. But to be honest, I'm not bearish on this chart. It's just cooling off after a huge run. I would look at this area as an opportunity. If it does close below this areas, you can use a stop loss. How tight is your stop loss? Pretty big stop loss, 7%, unfortunately. But
7%.
it's just,
It's chill.
yeah, I mean, because if you
For a
look at the
DJ,
pump,
for a DJ,
Yeah.
that's nothing.
I mean, if you were to, take a tight stop loss, you would put where it would bounce, right? So if price were to come like this and bounce, your stop loss could be placed just under here.
Yeah, 7% is
tight.
normal within the ape casino.
But Gooding, I think you make a good point that might be helpful for people at home, right? When we're looking at Bitcoin, when you're a hardcore options trader, you are looking at these really sort of tight ranges, Bitcoin with all its precious history and everything. But for some of these younger assets, especially now in this monster mega hype cycle, how can you sort of control your psychology and I mean, I guess you can't really know the future, but some of these coins are just pumping like in pure insanity. And how can we sort of know when to take profits and when not? Because something like Elrond is obviously a monster project. I'm not surprised that it's pumping this much, but I'm sort of in the same boat. I honestly knew this for a super long time and wish I had more. And
Mate, out in the Wild West, within the Uniswamp, it gets difficult. So I always recommend firstly have portfolio management, and I won't go into too much detail there, right? Because that's your first sort of level of risk management. The second sort of risk management that you would want when you're entering a trade is having a plan, and you want to be able to like when especially when you're getting on a launch, it's like things are crazy, and there's no historical data to sort of go off. So you're literally just day trading and watching maybe a bit of volume, the Stoke and the RSI, but
Your Fibonacci.
and a bit of Fibonacci, 100%. It's like a joke there, but it's if you have a plan, if you have a target one you want to buy, and expecting crazy gains because it's overhyped, 2x, take out your initial, and
But I'm
That's
starting to think, just at least in this market, in these conditions right now, that every single project that I get into that I think is solid or something, I feel like I want to leave just a little bit of something in there, a little moon bag, because some of my tiny little holds have just 5x, 10x in the background, and there wasn't too much cash in there. Not financial advice, but um, I feel like it's cooler to get that 10x, even if it's not a huge bag, as opposed to feeling bad about missing the entire pump, because also that feeling sort of might negatively impact your trading going forward on other projects. I don't know. What do you guys think?
uh, yeah, mate. Sorry, I got really distracted
I could
because
tell. What the? Pay attention, dude. We're streaming.
there's this app here. Like it makes my eyes and it doesn't make my eyes, but it makes my mouth larger. So when I smile, all right, I look
Harry's
like
here
it's
giving us
crazy.
expert TA, and we're just we're living in the Wild West. Harry, I did actually, if nobody objects, I would like some TA on a more recent coin, just as sort of a example of what a lot of us are dealing with.
Yes.
This coin option room,
All right, we'll
which
go
you'll
look at
probably
it.
get
Yeah,
on
I'll
Dex
get on
tools.
Dex. But before that, I just
Um,
want to talk about ADA quickly. Just quickly.
oh
Just
yeah,
because
yeah, yeah,
ADA was a
nice.
request. So this is looking good, man. Holding the support here, accumulation phase. If it does break below this support, we could see some, lower prices, maybe even back down to here. But as long as it's holding this, it's looking pretty good. So yeah, that's my tea on that.
That would be a huge drop, actually.
Room. It's giving me
Um,
shroom. Yeah, it
After
is
that, we'll
option
have to
room.
look at GRT. Are you looking at the Telegram? Are you? See people throwing out stuff there.
No, I'm looking at the chat.
Tell the people in the Telegram to come to the YouTube channel.
We have a question as well. Tell me your top 5 indicators.
Top
Indicator number.
five.
Are you ready? It's very difficult. Indicator
Writing
number
this down.
1. Indicator number 1.
All right, wait. Let me get
The
a pen.
human brain.
Okay.
Indicator number 2. Eyes. Indicator number 3.
Okay, I got
Internet.
both of those. Wait, I got those
Indicator
three.
number 4. Computer screen. Indicator number 5. Candles. That's all you need to trade. Nothing more.
So
Wait, I have access to
elaborate.
all of those. But you're saying I don't need to pay thousands of dollars on some proprietary indicators from
Just
somebody on
price
the internet.
action. Just learn price action. You learn price action, everything makes sense. You don't need all these fancy indicators. Now that we're breaking all-time highs, yeah, okay, use Stokes. Stokes tell you momentum. That's good. I mean, okay, on a serious note, good indicators to use Stokes, use volume. That's basically all I use, Stokes and volume. I don't really need, you can use RSI, but RSI is just another form of structure. It's just to make things clearer. I mean, I don't really use it. I'm not much of an indicator trader. I just trade simple price action, and I find that I'm, most successful doing, it in that way. But in terms of indicators, like definitely on all-time highs, I'm just using Stokes just for momentum, and I'm always using the Stokes with the trend. So yeah, let's
Yeah,
look
I
at
mean,
this.
it's both encouraging and sort of disheartening, because I think a lot of people out there just love to learn about stuff when they're traders, as opposed to actually making money.
Cup and handle, huh?
Yeah, what's going on with Room?
Cup and handle, as they would say. I'm not a pattern trader as well. But to be honest, it does look like it wants to sell down. I mean, with a new coin like this, guys, as soon as the trend breaks, until any news comes out, it's not good news. No news is bad news. It's not no news is good news. No news would be bad news. Why? Because you see, we're in a downtrend now on the 15-minute. Probably you would have a downtrend on the 30 as well. Yeah. So since you're on a downtrend, as soon as this trend breaks, until they release some sort of news, price is not going to do anything. It's just going to keep selling off. People are going to keep selling. Even looking at this, there is some buys, but look at this. It's like it's pretty much even, but price I think will continue down. What else do we have?
We've
So
got one that's
even
been
though
backed up a
the
little bit. Sorry, you can load up GRT as Marsh asks his question.
Yeah.
oh yeah, no, I want to see about GRT too. One of my favorites. Yeah, no, it's interesting that even though this formation is formatting for the formation is forming, it is still not a guarantee that it is just going to automatically pop off and follow that formation. But yeah, when it's a newer coin, you really do have to check the Telegram and see what kind of room is to grow on option room. But yeah, I care much less about that. GRT has been ripping.
Yeah,
And this is on Coinbase and stuff. So I think this is for my fellow Americans out there. Probably one of their favorite coins at the moment. Yeah, but what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen, Harry? Is it
what's
going
gonna
back
happen?
to? Is it
It's
going
going
back to a
back to
dollar?
uh I mean, it's at this like a pretty critical zone, to be honest. Any more selling pressure here, I do think it'll probably come down to 1.8. You know,
Hmm.
if you look at this, like just to help you guys, you can see that we formed a wedge. You know, this is will make it look a little bit clearer for everyone, and you can see we broke that wedge to the downside. And now that we broke it to the downside, we're actually breaking structure. Maybe the 4 hour will give us a little bit more, insight onto what's going on. 4 hours is not looking good that we've closed the 4 hour below this area here. You can see that area there. We've closed below there. It's not looking good. I mean, look how many clean candles here, right? That is huge.
Clean.
I mean, it's
That was a fantastic run.
I mean,
Not
here you can
financial
see
advice, but I got a piece of it. It was nice.
if we do close below this middle side Bollinger Band, I probably yeah, I mean, this curling down 1 hour below
Yeah, I
it
mean, how much
already.
do you think? How much do you factor in the like psychology? Because that's something I think about a bunch. Is like who has access to this coin, who has easy access to this coin, and like what is their sort of psychology? And yeah, GRT has just been the most ripping thing happening on Coinbase. And I think something like Coinbase has a ton of new users. Probably they got, I don't know, they lost their life savings on GameStop using Robinhood, and then they heard about crypto from Elon Musk. So now they're putting, they remortgaged their house and are putting it into Coinbase. And and then I started to think that some of these people are not maybe as smart or good traders as maybe others, and that that would sort of make the structure even worse on a big giant pump like this because would be a lot of newbie panic selling on this asset.
That's what's going to cause the selling pressure. And then apart from that, as soon as some sort of fundamentals come along or some hype, this chart will turn around. But I mean, definitely profit taking up here, and I think this profit taking will last a little bit longer. It's pumped a lot more. I don't see why a lot of people will be looking the. I mean, some people might be buying around this area here, so we might just tap here and then continue up and onwards. But it's hard to say at the moment. We'd need to look at this when it reaches down here, or if it even does. If it doesn't respect this support. So yeah,
All right.
what else do we have?
Let's yes, we've got Ocean from Laura.
Fantastic. Ooh, I'd love to hear about Ocean.
They all look the same, huh? They're having these big cool-offs.
Yeah,
So
okay.
it's the same thing, to be honest, but Ocean, I'm actually looking for, Ocean is a little bit simpler. As soon as we break this trend up here, I'm looking maybe for a little bit of something different, right? Maybe we continue up.
Mm.
But as long as we're holding this downtrend here, I do think it will keep trending down. And you can see that, uh, yeah, it looks like it wants to sell off a bit. This is much more of a sell-off, not having much support here. I think people will let it come down to 1.02 probably, which would be another 7%. And then I would like to look at it when we reach there, if we even do. But yeah, that's my idea on that.
Selling off,
Excellent.
selling off. Everything's selling off. I mean, I've heard other people talking about this as sort of a yet another shakeout, especially for the newbies, because everything has been selling down since the Elon excitement. But yeah, what's your view, sort of just general, Harry, about the market? Um, yeah, is the selling just gonna continue, or are we gonna break to 50 and move all of these coins along with it?
I definitely do think, like, going back to Bitcoin here, it did get rejected. That's what I was saying, breaking the previous wick. I would see some continuation, and I was talking about 1 hour Stokes catching this momentum down. So,
Mm.
yeah, that's why I use Stokes, who was asking. You can see, 1 hours, especially on a Sunday and Friday, they do catch momentum. I mean, 4 hour would be up. You see 4 hour is up, it needs to continue above where we are now. So 1 hour is not a death sentence in itself. Looking at 1 hour quickly, we don't really have any support on the Stokes. It's kind of just messy. I would look for this to trade down a little bit. Maybe, as I said, come back and test it as support, right? I mean, we could see that come back down, maybe test this area here at 48,600 something. And then, yeah.
Sweet. Thanks, Harry. I know your time is precious, mate. So we've had one here from Cosmicator, QNT. Now, I'm not too sure if this one's on Binance. This one should be on KuCoin. If you don't have, well, you
can always go on CoinGecko.
So how much more time do you have, Harry? Before I have to break the
5
bad
minutes.
news. 5 minutes. And then we're heading straight into the news. Quant, yeah. It's either QNT or it's QANT. But
yeah, QNT.
Is this it?
Yes, that's about the price it should be.
Did they? They changed their logo, huh?
This is a different quant. Actually, I think this.
That's messy.
Yeah, I think they changed their branding recently.
Just write in the chat here if QNT. Yeah, it's quant. That's what we have.
I'm pretty sure it's the coin, but they changed their logo very, very recently.
Well, this chart is really messy, guys. I mean, it looks like a 4-year-old has scribbled on my wall.
But that's a good question, because I do see a lot of charts like this. What do you do? Do you just stay far away, or is there anything?
There's no TA to be done. So you trade this based on fundamentals only.
Because some of these more wild charts, it seems like, because I think Quant actually is a solid project, but it seems like you don't want to be actively trading anything like this because you will get wrecked.
It just looks ugly, man. It looks like a 4-year-old scribbled on my wall. This kind of looks like what type of artwork Gooding.
The problem is, Harry, it's not necessarily Quant itself. Because it's on Uniswap, it's a liquidity issue.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I'm not saying the project. I understand, like, they have low liquidity, so the buys are very erratic. They move the price.
Are we able to bring up another chart, maybe just on KuCoin or even TradingView?
Let's see. Do they have it on TradingView?
Well, it's on KuCoin. I'm pretty sure KuCoin's is connected to TradingView.
Quant USD, yeah, they do have it. Sweet.
Yeah. On Bittrex, there you go.
Open.
Yeah, it's on Bittrex is the biggest market. Uniswap actually is the biggest market for Quant right now.
It's same chart.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an uptrend, guys, so I wouldn't be worried about it. If you want me to give you some TA on this, I would say, this area here, I mean, it's the best I can really do is basically, I mean, if you're looking at people trading this psychologically, there is some sort of head and shoulder pattern forming. Obviously, I don't trade patterns. I make that clear, but other people do. So they might, look at this area here. But I mean, it's not very clear head and shoulders. So if we do break this trend line here, something like this, I could look for it to come down probably around here. And if it does break this area, probably trades down. But any fundamental use will keep this up and onwards.
Nice. Yeah, no, maybe that's a good point to end on, because oftentimes I'm trying to balance what I'm thinking in my head and what I think other people are thinking in their heads, and sometimes I can get too caught up in like that sort of analysis. How do you deal with that, Harry? And sticking to your guns basically when you've made a decision.
What did you say again? I was reading the chat. Sorry.
Just the psychological effect, because the markets are made up of people, and it's just their psychology as well. So often when I look at a chart, I know the information that I have about something, but then I'm often overanalyzing what I think other people think about the chart. And how do you sort of make decisions in that environment? Just sticking to your guns and factoring in what you think other people are thinking and overanalyzing.
You have your own, bias, right? And you have your own style of trading. And, everyone will look at a chart different. And everyone, for every chart, there's like 1,000 different ways you can analyze it and make a conclusion, because trading is all about creativity and about making basically a decision on your own bias which is formulated by your own creative strategy. So if you're trying to figure out other people's strategies, it's a little bit difficult because there are a lot of other people. But
Yeah.
if you look at the majority, you can develop maybe, I would say, two strategies or two outcomes that could happen based on what you see in the charts. And if they actually do happen, then you take action. But sorry to be, cliche, but really trading is about adapting with the market, hence our name.
Hmm.
But really, like you have to be able to adapt quickly and change your not your analysis. Your analysis, you should always stick to your bias, right? That's the one advice to not get confused, is don't change your overall bias. If you think price should go up that day and price goes down, that's your mistake, take the loss. But don't, just because you see price doing something, don't change your bias. In the past, when I used to do that, it used to like, oh look, it's just broke structure, price should continue down. But on the higher time frames, it wasn't really doing anything. So
Right.
you need to stick to your bias.
Yeah, cool. All right, we might do one more if that's okay. Let's
Yeah,
go.
I think last one.
Yeah, theta. Sorry, sorry, Noah. The king of the potatoes had to sort of just make a decision there. But
What did
maybe
Noah want?
he wanted OM, which is Mantra DAO.
Where
That
would
one
that
is
be?
on Bitmax from memory.
I don't have Bitmax.
Yeah, I want to hear about Theta.
Let's
All
go
right, fine.
theta.
It's our decision, guys. I mean, we love your support. And did you smash the like button? I feel like there's
We
a
have.
couple people that didn't smash that like button, and they're watching right now, and they're hearing this too. And
I
then
mean,
they just hit it. They just smashed it. I felt it. Yeah.
That looks all right. Again, we have some, not really actually. Uh, to be honest, looking at this actually now, let's go on a lower time frame. I need to see something a bit more decent. You know, being held by the middle Bollinger Band, we just got rejected at it. I probably look for this to trade down back to this area here. Probably somewhere around here, to be honest. Sorry, I'm giving a wide range, but that's what price action is showing me, right? So that's the range. It could bounce here because you can see in the past, why in the past, you can see that bounce here, some sort of reaction here. So yeah, you can see it coming down, maybe get a bounce here, and maybe even get sold into. Fundamental news comes, boom, we fly. So this is how charts work. So yeah, I think that about wraps it up. I appreciate everyone joining today, and
But before you go, just
yes,
so you know,
yes,
there is a segment after this, and it's just going to be news
yeah,
and everything you want. But I just want
don't
to say
click off.
thank you very, yeah, I just want to say thank you very much, Harry.
No
Obviously,
worries.
for those who are new, Harry actually gives TA on Bitcoin and Ethereum every single day. Does it out off his own back, and you guys can just you can save yourself if you understand what Bitcoin and Ethereum sort of does to the altcoin market. You could sort of make more informed trades. I know it is difficult, but if you understand what Bitcoin's doing, you're going to understand what the rest of the market's doing essentially. So Harry's taking the time, and so you don't have to. But as always, Harry, thank you. It's always a pleasure, and
We appreciate it, Harry.
We'll see you next week for
Be
the
sure to
weekly
join
special.
that Telegram. Yeah, for sure, guys.
I was gonna say,
Because
gonna
in the
say,
Telegram, I did talk to Gooding this morning, and I told him that I wasn't happy with this breakout, and I probably would see some selling pressure. Do you remember that, Gooding?
Yeah, you did.
well,
Go scroll up.
that's what I was gonna say, Harry. People usually really shouldn't abuse this, but you can get in our Telegram and at Harry, and he will probably respond to you with some expert TA on what you're looking for. So, right, you
Minimum.
that's what we're there
4
for.
weeks of price history, guys, please.
Yeah, yeah. No, he prefers the real charts, but we're there for you guys. Not just on this live stream. If you're watching this right now, you can hang out with us all the time, and we would actually love you to join us.
Noah, you should smash that like button and then at me in the Telegram, and I'll give you even a one-on-one analysis in the Telegram. You won't even be on live stream. You'll get it, now basically. So just add me in the Telegram, and I will, I'll respond to you, because I have to wrap this up and hand it over to the kings of news and the kings of altcoins and pumps, because they've been killing it. So guys, take it away. Thank you very much. Peace out.
Thanks,
Hey,
Harry.
See you
Harry, you're a
guys.
Thanks,
legend.
Harry. We appreciate you.
Do you want to go? You want to be first there, Marsh, or
Yeah, I mean, I'm just. Is he gonna be frozen there? I don't know. I'm constantly mind blown by our deal here. Who else is offering you one-on-one expert analysis? A technical analysis for free. Anybody could just get an expert help. You're supposed to pay for everything. I mean, they taught me in school Tin Staffel. Do you guys know Tin Staffel? You ever heard that?
no? Sorry, mate. I haven't. It must be.
Yeah, I feel like you haven't been yourself today, Gooding. You just
No, I'm mentally
you look
distracted.
a little. You look a little. I can't put my finger on it, but there's something. I feel like
Yeah,
there's something going
there's
on
been
with you.
there's a lot of pressure
Yeah.
on me all the time, and I'm really struggling to cope, mate. But I am pumped. I am pumped for the news, and I'm ready to sort of hit some all-time highs. And
God damn it. Yeah, no, it's
honestly,
all working out.
I've had to mute myself because I just have so much fun with this stupid app.
Yeah, yeah. No, we are trying to bring you the important analysis, the important news of the day. But in the end, it is a YouTube show, and what's more important? What's more important than I don't know, having a good time?
You're absolutely right, mate. You're absolutely right. So let's get back down to business. I'm just wiping away the tears of joy. I could kick this off unless you're ready, mate.
Either way, I got Morgan Stanley over here.
If you're ready, man.
Yeah. No,
people need
let's
their news.
just because we had just gone
Yes.
through all of this analysis. Yeah, because that's sort of what I was talking about. Some people look at the charts. Some people don't look at the charts at all. I do know people that they are very active in crypto, but they don't know how to read a chart. They think it's confusing. They don't even know how a candle works. And I know I personally was in this spot for a long time, even though I was interested in crypto. It wasn't until a certain point in time that I was like, oh my God, there's so much money to be made in this market that I wanted to get a little bit more into the charts. But a lot of people will never get to that point, and that's totally fine too. They really do just go off the news and that kind of thing. But I think when it comes to this sort of high level stuff, I don't know, the news can trick you. So that's why it's probably good for us to go through some of these stories, because I don't know, I'm just seeing a lot of tricks lately, especially in these more high profile articles. It's not directed at any one publication or author or anything, but it's getting really tricky to know what's actually going to happen especially with Bitcoin, Ethereum, the higher caps. So here's an article saying, Bitcoin price rebounds as Morgan Stanley reportedly considers buying a Bitcoin. And I don't know, Morgan Stanley does not have the meme power that someone like an Elon Musk does. They are reportedly investing 150 billion called in this investing arm called Counterpoint Global. And they're just thinking of adding it to their balance sheet. It's not like the end of the world.
To be honest, it'll probably be the cheeky 1% of their balance sheet, really. So, if it's $150 billion, I doubt that allocate all of that. But if 1%, for instance, that's a cheeky bill. Sorry, it's 1.5. Sorry, so it's Tesla over again.
Yeah, no, it is. That's a pretty good pump for sure. And I guess Morgan Stanley getting in there. I think it is getting hard to analyze the news because there really is so much insane bullish sentiment going on. Every major company, all the investment firms, your parents, you, hopefully, everybody's just trying to get some Bitcoin at first, and then they go through that mental process. Oh, Bitcoin seeing insane returns. Damn. But what if I could see more insane returns? Well, let me get in these altcoins. Let me get all the way down to the Uniswap, and so I can get those 10x gains. And then, I don't know, I see the market sort of expanding from there. So that's all extremely bullish. But I did want to spread a little FUD as well.
You got to have that balance, mate.
Yeah, I did want to spread a little FUD here. So Ripple co-founder Jeb McCaleb, which is a dumb name. I'm sorry, dude. Dumps another 40 million XRP. So the Ripple co-founder has dumped a bunch of his
Hang on, but
XRP.
isn't this the founder of Stellar, and which was divorced from XRP to while he because he had a different view as to where XRP could go. So yeah, this is actually expected, I believe.
I'm
Jed's
so glad
probably
you said that, man. I'm so glad you said that because that's sort of what I'm saying. This is a tactic from really all news media, but basically you say something really inflammatory and get people to freak out, and you purposefully do not give them the full information. Right? This is an extremely short article, but I don't see anywhere in this article mentioning that information. Gooding. Why would they omit something that important, that sort of relevant to this story?
it's interesting, mate. And as you know, unfortunately, media in all sort of industries, whether it's just the no coiners or the coiners industry, um, they there's fun in all industries, all two of them, and that's what this is. We see this manipulation all the time. We see people potentially just want to pump their bags, or we got the other end of the scale here where people want to create a bit of fun, and they want to be able to just say, yeah, we're selling, guys, I hope you are too, and then all of a sudden the price goes down and they're like they're gathering it all up, and that's probably what's happening here, mate. I'm not the biggest fan of XRP. I'm quite vocal about that, but I do care about the people who hold XRP, and yeah, I hope it goes well for you guys.
Yeah, I definitely I think XRP is kind of dumb, and yeah, it's probably going to be used by the bankers to make a bunch of money, and exactly for that reason, I would expect this sort of. I mean, I guess it's a pretty good plan to scam people out of their cash, but it's also pretty simplistic, right? Take this gigantic asset, put it in front of people, and then take it away. Say, "Oh man, no, it's dangerous. It's bad. It's just security. They're gonna get sued, guys. They're gonna get sued." I mean, it just happens to be the what it's not the number three coin anymore, but it was for quite some time, or is it still? Um, and then you bring it back, and the excitement is back again, right? Because I think XRP has been around so long, it's had a bunch of shills, it's also had a bunch of like naysayers and negative press, and so I think when, and I'm not saying financially advisable in a financially advised kind of way, but I'm pretty sure they're going to get cleared by the SEC. That court case is happening on the 22nd, I believe, and then it's going to get relisted on all the exchanges, and it's going to pump. I don't know. It's $1 billion asset. Probably do a 2 or 3x. So I'm not. It's tickling my degen feelings, but at least that's how I see this shaking out. And I'm pretty sure what's his name, Mister Cosmos guy, still has a little bit XRP because
Yeah, he's
moonbacks,
actually
man.
under contract to release it over a certain period of time, and he's also restricted to the amounts he can sort of release each time as well. And geez, he really he really put the dump on this time. I mean, maybe he was just holding it in, and pun intended. But
Oh man.
I do want to sort of segue a little bit. Is that all? Is that
Yeah, yeah.
would you
No, what do
like
you
to
got, Gooding? What do you got,
take the wheel,
Gooding?
man? Yeah,
Go for
sweet,
it.
mate. And I care for everyone who's here. I know time is it can be very precious. So I'll just make this very quick. We got the Bitcoin dominance. It's still looking okay. So don't stress too much. Apologies for the shifting there, but alts, we're still bullish. We're still very bullish on alts, which is really good to see. Ethereum, we already had Harry's TA. We're still sort of making our way over to
Hmm.
Mars there.
Yeah, I mean, I like to hear your TA as well, though, dude. It's a different style, obviously, but
Yeah, it is unique, and people do rely on their tickets to there's other planets, and I'm just sort of the navigational guide there. And then we have here the overall market. It was a bit of a this is the what Harry calls the weekend shenanigans, where institutions sort of just throw the berries back and just go, yeah, we'll let the retailers play a little bit, and They're sort of hoping that the price drops so that they can scoop it up on the weekend, most likely.
Mm.
But generally it's green overall. There's nothing crazy here, to be honest. And some of the ones that are red are the ones that have just recently pumped. Like we had GRT up there, and we were shown before in AVAX as well, just having healthy corrections. So overall, the market's looking
Yeah, I mean
decent.
it's important to sort of remember in context, and I think that's sort of what right, you get capitalized upon not having a really short memory and short attention span. A lot of these things in the red were things that pumped like utter monstrosities just a couple days ago. So yeah, I guess it's important just to remember what just happened 5 minutes ago, because I know my memory's not so great. I feel like things were different just a second ago, Gooding.
Yeah,
Like somehow now, like amongst the weeds, and now we're out in outer space. But I think you
yeah,
have to
mate.
remember that you were amongst the weeds just a couple seconds ago.
Yeah, like I'm just getting ready, mate. As I was saying before, I have to be a navigational guide to Mars. So this is the form I take to be their guide to these other planets. But more seriously, I do want to. This is actually really good news. Anything
Yeah.
where we're sort of seeing educational institutions sort of
Uh,
have something to do with blockchain. I think it's very important. We have the top 4 universities submit their CBDC designs to Bank of Canada. For those who don't mean that, you can just simply see it as the digital dollar for Canada. And it's interesting because governments will make decisions on what some of these universities will sort of make. And this is just good. This is just good for the crypto market. Good on you, Canada. Love you guys. But this is overall like the more adoption that we see for everyday sort of spending is a thumbs up overall. So that's pretty much wraps up all the sort of news that I wanted to cover there. And
no, that is a super interesting article, though. I mean, it's something I think about a bunch. That developing the global blockchain economy, right? Because it's not just Bitcoin; it's these interlocking, creating a brand new financial system with lending and everything that goes into a financial system, from options trading to flash loans, and it's just a lot of time and development and energy, and there's all these bugs, and people are getting hacked constantly. It's a lot of stuff that needs to come together to pull this whole thing off, to eventually be adopted by governments and everything. And I think about that a bunch, that basically they're getting the entire world in the pursuit of sick gains to do insane amounts of free development for what will eventually become sort of government-led projects. And so I just, I think about that. It's really sort of a smart move from any country deciding to move to a CBDC. They don't have to pay for the development, because that would cost billions to do this if teams were getting paid to do this. But it's happening out in the wild, and all this research isn't just on the blockchain. It's none of it can be sort of copyrighted and proprietaryized. So, right? You guys see what I'm saying?
yeah, absolutely, mate. To be honest, I wouldn't mind a cheeky stimulus so I can buy some more banana friends. But seriously, I'd love to maybe I'd design my own, cryptocurrency, maybe like banana finance or something. I'm pretty sure it's already been done.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I
I
feel
just
like,
want to sort of
yeah.
just want to say thank you very much, guys, for tuning in. I know this session was a little bit longer than usual, so I really do appreciate your patience as we have the weekly special. It's very unique, and as you can see here, there's no better TA and some of that fundamental crypto news that comes from banana and a picture of a corgi.
Yeah, I
Doge.
mean, we are a very serious, I guess, what would you call us? Sort of organization?
Mm. Yeah, we take cryptocurrency very serious,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and and sometimes we take I don't know, I don't even know what I'm saying now. I'm missing a bit of my brain, so I'm not doing too well, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I think the gains have been so sick as of lately. Again, not financial advice. That yeah, everybody is acting a little crazy, just feeling a little euphoric, a little nuts. Because I think we all know that this was just the first leg of what's coming. I don't know if you guys can feel it in the air. If you guys can feel the hyper mega cycle that is just gonna melt your bones out of your body, can you smash that like? That's you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Anyways.
Alrighty, guys, let's wrap it up there. Just want to say thank you very much for joining us. We will be back tomorrow, and I promise you we'll make it much shorter. And hey, if you want to see us with some sort of you know, what do you call this? Like animation over our faces, you get to choose, and I'll wear whatever you want because I don't care. I do care. I love you guys. All right, thank you very much, guys. See you later. And I've ended. Sorry, Lara.